Are you wondering how it's possible to get large bundles, such as the one I'm holding, into a small eco printing pot? In this case, I'm actually printing a couch cover. And the first thing I had to decide was what I was going to roll my bundle up on. Now, I decided to use no metal pipe or core, but include a lot of eucalyptus bark in the bundle. You can also use a rope or a piece of silicone tubing for this process, but it's important to understand that whatever you use needs to be flexible. And if your fabric is relatively heavyweight, you don't need to have any core at all. Once my bundle was rolled up with the vegetation inside, I tied it off in various places along the length just to make sure it didn't start unrolling while I wanted to add the ties and more vegetation. So I started positioning eucalyptus leaves and bark underneath my main tying material, my t-shirt yarn, and working from one end up to the other, I added the ties and I positioned them very close together. So if I'm going to be doing a large bundle that I need to curve and fit into my eco printing pot, regardless of whether I roll it with no core, with eucalyptus bark, with silicone tubing, I need to make sure that I add my string, more string than usual. As you can see in the left-hand image, my pot lid is narrower significantly in diameter than the length of my bundle. So this is where a little bit of brute strength comes in handy. In the image on the right, you can see where I have my foot on the bundle on the floor, and I'm pulling upwards at either end with my hands. And what I do is I go along the full length of the bundle, putting pressure on with my body and my foot, and breaking almost the vegetation that's on the inside. Interestingly, the vegetation doesn't actually tear, but it just probably bruises a little bit. And because I roll my bundles very tightly, they're firm, but it just means that I can break that tension a little bit and I can start to curve my piece. Once the piece is curved enough, I start to just tie it, as you can see in the image on the left, just going around and across it, just so that it stays in that circular shape or rough circular shape. And you can see now that it is going to comfortably fit into my eco printing pot and it's ready to process. So I hope that these tips have helped you. And if you have any questions, please drop them as a comment below.